Hello everyone, I'm Paul with many voices and welcome back to more Prison Architect. Grantless gal playthrough. Well, in the last episode I hooked up everything to the green power and I spent around 100,000 in-game dollars doing that. Just imagine, that much money in such a short time, despite the fact that I'm not using grants. This time it's time to work on the other thing that Going Green introduced, namely the farming. So, in rooms, I want a vegetable allotment up here. It's gonna be all of this. I want a farming field down here. And a single fruit orchard over here. Now all three of those require a shed. Let's see, a shed going green. A shed, so I'll place you. Oh wait, I'll place this shed facing down. But what I forgot to do in farming field is add this a little bit, and in vegetable allotment add this a little bit. My original setup for the farming was different, smaller and up here, but this area just works perfect for that. I couldn't have asked for a better setup than this. So Going Green, once again, shed. There's something wrong with the construction of the shed. There and there. And what I like to add as well, this is sadly in all, it was still added in Going Green, but for some silly reason, there and there, they didn't add it in the Going Green tab. So the other thing I want is a compost bin. No, we're not going into a coma. We're going into a compost bin. If I can find it, that is. Why am I so blind as a bat? Why is a table oval? Oh, because common room. Oh, I don't have those things unlocked yet. Silly me, silly me. So in utilities, I will throw in a spot of water here and a spot of water here, which means they'll have to get inside. That is no bueno. Better yet, I won't, and I won't. I'm gonna let this run down to here. Over here. And here. And then instead, this connects to here. This connects to here. And then all of these to here, and then all of these and all of these to there. Silly me, I didn't research the thing yet. So does that mean that I can or cannot have? No. If you don't have that research done, you cannot have your stuff in, your electrical or automated stuff. But what I can do is 1 dose of apple trees over here. Let's see, making sure that it's this one. 9 by 9, yeah. That's the apple tree. This is the... Oh! So farming unlocks that too then. Okay, so orange trees, banana trees, and then peach trees. Wow. There's a lot that you don't have if you don't have the research. I'm amazed at this, honestly. Because I want to have the whatchamacallit, crop sprinklers and the auto harvesters and the advanced auto gatherers, and then of course also the barley plants and these things and those things and everything else. There we go. All of this stuff. Money is not the issue at the moment, it's the fact that I didn't have the research done. Farming is almost done. Perfecto. There we go. So, let's see. That was still the banana tree. And then the peach tree. Right. First I'm gonna put in the crop sprinklers. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and 2, 3. We have a tunnel. We have found a tunnel. Ooh, no, I'm still going to put in the sprinklers first, because that is slightly more important at the moment. Just making sure that they are in. And I'll explain in just a second why I'm not using the drip pipes. And why I will not be using the regular auto gatherers and not the scythe. The auto scythe, I believe it's called. Yeah. I will not be using them. And I suggest, technically, you should never do that either. Because the auto scythe only has a 5 by 5 squares reach, whereas the crop sprinkler has that too, and the regular basic auto gatherer has that too. But as you can see, you cannot place them all on the same square. Meaning that you would have to put the auto gatherer here, for instance, and then the auto scythe over here, and you would lose out on some of the basic stuff. Now the drip pipe is even worse than that. As you can see, there are only 3 squares available, as in 2 squares on, or 1 square on either side. That's green, which is the square that's gonna get the water. And then you're gonna lose an entire row or column based on how you place them, in terms of where you cannot plant your stuff. So this entire row, or in this case this entire column, is lost, whereas in this case only the square above and below all of this is gonna get water. So this is just a massive waste of space. Yes, it's cheap, but once you see that the advanced auto gatherer covers this entire square of 10 by 10, whereas the auto harvester also covers this, and you may be thinking that it looks kind of weird, but that's why I have 40 by 11 in total. So I'm taking into account one for the harvester itself, and then the 10 squares of actual crop field that I can use. And it will just go over the auto gatherer and the sprinklers. And as for the fruit orchard, nothing works. It is just the trees that will grow and nothing else works. They still need the I'll give you the compost bins, one here and there, and that's done. Now we are definitely experiencing a tunnel. Is some of my staff unhappy? No. So they should technically just find it. Why are you stationed here though? You're stationed. Aren't guards stationed here? How is that? Deployment. No. And patrols. That is better. Now you're still not dead, of course, so that is fine. However, in order to get the stuff working, you will need the farm workers. So I'm gonna hire 2 off the bat because they are 1,000 each, and they will be the ones planting and gathering all of the stuff up that you've planted. So I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna have a maximum of 6 farmers for now. Might have to increase that later to more. But for now, I'm satisfied. And it is also wise to set up your crop sprinklers and your auto gatherers first before you put in the first of your actual stuff. However, this is starting to annoy me a little bit, so dismantle object. I'm saying this, that, this, and that. Get this done first, please and thank you. So as you can see, my farmers are planting the trees, and time to yield is 156 hours for the bananas, 95 hours for the oranges, the apples 107, and the peach 120. So we found the tunnel after all. Perfect. Am I satisfied with this? Yes. Yes, I am. Oh. I'm sad that they wanted to escape because they have such nice cells, and I'm being so incredibly nice to them. But oh well. I, sadly, have forgotten something this entire time. Prison transfer. Sadly, I have too many prisoners in minimum security at the moment. I don't really care. Right. So farming is also very expensive to set up because you have to not just designate the ground for that, but you have to plant, buy all of the trees and put in the sheds, 500 a piece. It is useful to have compost bins, and I'll explain how that works in just a moment. But if you want to have automated farming like I do, then it is just expensive. Because the going green, the auto harvesters are 2,500 a pop, and I'm gonna need 20 in total. As for the advanced auto gatherers, they too are 2,500 a pop, and I'm gonna need 8 of them in total. So it is quite the expensive thing. However, once this is done, this is the vegetable allotment. I can already then say that this entire thing is going to be carrots. After I place the auto gatherers. There's yet another thing that I wanted to showcase. Prisoners can work in the farms. Of course, they can. So I'll have a few to work there. Green thumbs, the prisoners with the green thumb trait, will not require education, but the rest does. If they want to work. So that's why without any prior training, I already have 8 people that can technically work in here. And the others, farm work, safety, they are interested, and that goes over here. But as you can see, because we're still running the prisoners demand less work thing, we are not really doing anything about that. So currently that program is not running, it's useless, and I'm wasting money on that. But once I am allowed to have the programs running again, and I'm gonna go back to having 10 hours of work each day, then things will be fine. Also, this requires power, so there, and here. We have exported 2500 units of power. That is good. And then here as well. So now we can export 2500 units of power each day. And as you can see, my batteries are pretty much full entirely. So eventually the energy goal number 9 is gonna get done as well. And I'm still running well into the green with my electrical power, which is great. So I just applied the power cables there, and let me clear my throat. Get my auto gatherers or auto harvesters 1. Insufficient funds. I think I also want to start setting up the one room that I don't have, which is the Forestry. By default, your gardeners will plant the trees in the forestry and your workmen will cut them down, but you can also give your prisoners forestry labor. Of course, that requires that research. And as you can see, 84 prisoners are qualified. It doesn't require anything. So, can I in that case? Yes. Medium security. Medium security. Medium security, but only minimum security is allowed to work in my forestry. So let me set up. Now that's food distribution, silly. Why doesn't that work? I'm clicking like mad, but it doesn't work. Maybe it's Minstock only. Maybe now it'll work. It still doesn't work. Don't know why it doesn't work, but oh well. That does work. This doesn't work. I've had issues with forestry labor before, so I don't know why it doesn't work, but it just doesn't want to work for some reason. And 2 more auto harvesters. And then the rest. As I said, this is expensive. But as you can see, my gardeners are planting the trees, and once the trees are fully grown, my workmen will cut them down and bring them to the forest, to the workshop where... Oh, speaking of workshop. That is true. Oh, the shakedown is still not done. There. With the additional power production, I can of course hook up the final 2 pieces here. Silly that I didn't thought of that before. Gonna move the radiator up to here and add a table there. And since that I'm thinking about it anyway, 1 workshop saw, another small table, and once I have the money, 1 workshop press. And then my workshop is done, at last. This prison, I tell you. Oh, I see that that bit hasn't been floored yet. Cargo flooring. What about the shop? That has been done. That too. Ceramic, yes, and yes. And mosaic for the library. Yes, okay. So that was literally the only tile that wasn't floored yet. Come on, just 400 more dollars. There you go. Workshop complete. Farming is... Oh, how the hell did you get over here? All my guards over here. Will you just die already? I'm gonna do something truly nasty, and that involves removing this door. I'll dismantle it. You are bugged, so you're fired. And let me hire another one because I'm nice like that. This jail door is getting demolished. Go in here. And yes, I am in fact gonna seal her in entirely. If I can't kill you one way, there you go. That's 5,000 energy exported, and 5,000 as the new capacity. Or cap, not capacity, silly. Put this in. Permanent solitary is permanent. Oh. Ow, wow. Whoa. Ow, wow. Auto harvester. It's gonna be a slow thing, sadly. But once this is operational, it's gonna be awesome. So, I wanted to say, I remember again, I was talking about the forestry. The gardeners will plant the trees, and the workmen will cut them down and bring them over to the workshop, where they will the logs will be cut up into planks, and if people have passed the carpentry apprenticeship program, then those planks will be turned into beds, which you can sell for, I believe, $400 a piece. So that's if you have enough people having passed that as well, then you've got a nice chunk of income, and otherwise the logs or the planks will get exported anyway. So yeah, this is amongst the nastiest things I've ever done. In 2000 and I have to say this right, 11? Yeah, 2011. I visited a, well, it wasn't really a castle, but it was like a very huge mansion in Sweden, Torpa Stenhus. And there was a tale that they told us, that the daughter of the original owner got the plague, and they locked her in her bedroom and then sealed off the bedroom by just bricking her bedroom door, just like I did over here. And apparently they never opened that room, they never tore down the wall, and they didn't even think about looking through the window, but apparently the ghost of that girl is still trying to bang on the door. That was the story they told us. And I thought that was kind of cute. So, we've been running the prison on nothing but green energy for a while. And as you can see, it's ticking down very nicely. And it's just number 7? Oh yeah. It's just the prisoners having to pass the solar panel development, but currently I'm not running the class because in just under 2 hours I can put my prisoners back to work. It's just the running the prison on green energy for long enough, and then the 10 batteries. Or the 100 batteries, I'm supposed to say. And there we go, that's the radio host as done. And I didn't need to do anything about that. Prisoners will just be a little bit riled up. And then they've settled down. So let us go back to the regime. And give these guys 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and the rest is work lockup. And then programs reschedule. Everything is running. Somehow the progress has been saved. 18 interested, but nobody's doing it. Conflicting schedules, probably. So you're making me money. You're making me money. Deployment logistics. I still don't understand why this doesn't work. But oh well. I guess that this is going to be a staff-only zone after all. And I'm fine with that. And for now, this is staff-only as well. Actually, not entirely. This area is shared, and these two as well. Same with this. Except this. Wait. Oh, that's why. Oops. I missed a thing here. As such, it is time to move this over to here. And you over to here. Demolish the wall here and here, and put the wall, the fence back in here and here. And as such, I will add a fence door, staff fence door here as well, and make that staff only, this staff only as well. And we have somebody returning, Moon. So you're going to be maximum security right away. And we have another mother. Medium security, as you see. Ah, snitch. So I'm gonna give you permanent lockdown. Good thing I saw that. Yeah, I need a bigger canteen. But I'm not gonna. I ain't gonna. I'll approve you too. Overdosed. Oh. Let's see if I can save you really quick. Hurry, hurry, hurry. You're taking luckily the shortest route and you're saved. Perfect. Ah, we have some more cash. And as such, I actually want to get the gatherers. Advanced auto gatherer 1, 2, and 3. Because that looks nice. And I technically can already start the planting of the crops. So carrots, in here, potatoes in here, tomatoes in here, and cabbage in the rest, leaving us with barley, wheat, and I happen, oh no, wait, I'm doing that wrong. I'm doing this wrong, so not that yet. See? Say. Yeah, see? That is why you put in the gatherers first, so that the squares will get blocked. And whatever you put in will not get planted. Krak. 35 minutes. Okay. And the worst thing is she's technically drowning as well. As this keeps on spewing out water, this entire room starts to fill up. Oh, Paul, you are far too mean. You are far too mean. You're a meanie. I know. Well, that's what I'm supposed to be. So, barley once again. But this time correct. And advanced auto gatherer. I want to place you here first. There we go. So that I can then say wheat. And I'm gonna divide this entire area over basically just, yeah. How much is corn? 150, and this is 200. So I'll have 2 rows of corn. 3,000. Because apparently corn will give you the highest yield and thus the most money. In the meantime, I can show you another thing. In logistics, in food distribution, no, in crop distribution. I want this to go to the restaurant, I want this to go to the kitchen, and I want this to go to the kitchen. And also a bit to the exports. No, that's storage exports. Then same with this, a little bit to here, a little bit to here, a little bit to here, and just a tiny bit to there. And sadly, this is all exports, because I don't think I can get this done to here, nope, nor to here, nope, and definitely not to the kitchens, as I know. So right clicking, I can say I want 10% exported, and by clicking the number you can lock it in place. There. Same over here. 10% exports, not too much. 35%, 35%, and 21% to the kitchen, and this is fully exports. Don't ask me why. All that I know is that I wanted wheat plant to be here then. There we go. And you see the trees growing in the forestry. You see the farmers plant all of the stuff. I can remove this bit of planning, that bit of planning, this bit of planning, all of this planning, and that too. In deployments, I can also say farmers 1, 1, 1, but for some silly reason, it goes from 1 to 3 right away. So I think I'll hire up to 9 farmers in total. Eventually. Eventually. Tomato and potato. So the sprouts all look alike. Well, that's cabbage and this will be carrot. It's gonna be nice once you see that this is operational entirely. You'll like it, just like I do. Advanced Auto Gatherer. 2 more. I am going to be doing one thing and only this one time. Sell objects, and I'm gonna run it through here, and it's gonna find all of the finished license plates, all of the logs, and all of the beds, as well as the planks in your workshop. There. If I had stuff from my farms in my kitchens already and in my restaurant, I could use that too to sell. And I'm gonna sell everything in here because it's gonna sell that. Oh, everything inside of the storage shelf can be sold, apparently. Good. Good to know. Good to know. And Advanced Auto Gatherer, that's gonna be the last one. Now then. Corn. Plant. It's gonna cost me still quite a bit. There. All of the stuff has been planted now. Now it's just a matter of the auto harvesters and we're done. In the meantime, intelligence, instigator, not happy about that. Tough quick supplier, green thumb, dealer. No. You're stuck in there for life. You'll never get out. You'll never leave. Okay, looks like it's nothing really special. Excelente. Power exports 2600. That was not 5000. I believe. No, all of my batteries are empty, so I'm not producing 5000 units of power because 1 unit of power sells for $1. Cheap asses. Harvesters. 2 more. Why, if I type har, it shows the recycling bin? Yeah, nope. Common room, also nope. Gym, nothing. In infirmary, also nothing. There's perhaps morgue. No. I don't know. So yeah. Everything's gonna get planted, and then in a couple days we're gonna have farming. It's gonna be awesome. So looks like this potato has 12 hours left and that one 21. Oh, the potato plant and not the carrot. That is basically how the auto sprinklers work. At designated times they will spray in a 5x5 area around them, and the advanced auto gatherer will suck everything to itself in a 10x10 radius, and then the auto harvester is just gonna go down in a 10x4 radius, and it will go over this, it will go over that, but it will be stopped by the shed. I've learned. Harvesters. Oh, I thought I had enough. I knew that this was gonna be a slow episode. But hey, who cares? I'm running a prison without grants anyway. And it is hacking successful. So I need 5,000 more to finish up the northern part of the farm, and then 25,000 more to finish the southern one. Well, at least we're getting some civilian commerce, and 16,000 daily cash flow is nothing to sneeze at, of course. Levers is working. I was about to say, is that butter? But that's an egg. So you literally cooked an egg for somebody. Funny. Here you can see, my prisoners have been working, gathering the oranges. So something I could now do, because it also works on the fields, if you have stuff that is ready to be gathered, as it's on the floor, or it's already harvested, then you can sell that too. But of course, I want to start with feeding my prisoners some green stuff. As such, I'm gonna approve you. In policy ingredients, I do believe that the more you slide this over, eventually the less ingredients you're gonna import and the more you're gonna be using your own stuff. So with that, I can now say hardy harvesters. You saw them suck it up. There we go, and there we go. Once those two are in, the northern field is completely done. I will hire 5 more guards. But yet, I'll hire 5 more later down the line and then restart the guard taser certification program. Luckily, none of my guards have been killed because we've hit the most dangerous prisoner. Thinking back about Torpa Stenhus, there was another ghost story. But perhaps you should look that up. Can I do something nice with this area still? Benches. Yeah, let's do a couple benches. Oh, that's nice, benches. And how about some lights? Not enough money. There we go. Lights over here as well. We have more prisoners, so we have more intelligence to do. Oh, foodie. Ah, you're released. Splendid. Hey. Huh. So all of this stuff is was thrown in, and you can see that this has been thrown in 31 hours ago. This is almost 10 hours ago. This was thrown in 10 hours ago. This was thrown in as well, but it shouldn't technically reach this far. And for some reason it did. Okay, no new targets, no new targets. Okay. Splendid. Okay, so with that, planning, top planning goes away. And bottom planning goes away as well, because I know what I'm gonna put there. $25,000. Did I put the lights in? Yes, I did. I'm putting the lights in because I like that. I think it validates the place a little more. Otherwise it's just so dark. And now we can keep track of everything as well. So that's the auto harvesters running, and then in time then these things will activate as well, suck everything. There you go, you see that happening. I'm talking to you. Hey, I'm walking here. So this thing now has 6 potatoes, and then the farmers will collect them and bring them over to wherever we're setting them up. Ingredients, ingredients, ingredients. And we actually have our apples right here. We had oranges too, but nowhere in here. Contraband is out of control. Now this looks a lot nicer. Doesn't it? And instead I'm gonna start hooking them up from this side. There we go. And that is barley. And this is all exports. And they're manually harvesting it because I don't have the auto harvesters on yet. But you should see the auto gatherers suck everything towards itself in just a moment. Sadly, you cannot manually turn it on. Like, hey, I want you to do that thing right now. And here you see the potatoes and the tomatoes. And there you go. All those potatoes. They do expire, and that's why you have the compost bin. For every 100 compost waste collected, you're gonna get 1 bag of compost fertilizer. You can buy them yourself, and it is kind of advisable to have compost or at least fertilizer available. But as you can see, that is quite the expensive thing to do. And it cannot be placed underneath stuff that's still needed to be harvested. Also, it doesn't work under trees. So, yeah. There we go. 1 more. And then 6 left. I like this. Look at all that money. However, in This should now deteriorate to 0 eventually. But I believe that's somewhere in needs, no, jobs, no, intake, no. Prisoners, no. Where was that? Policy. Yes, policy. Continuous fertilizer, compost fertilizer. Search frequency, I'm gonna do 3 days, and search everything involving that. Look at all those tomatoes and all those carrots. Cabbages take the longest time to do. And there is actually a grant that you can do time and time and time again. That is the overproduction grant. As you can see, sell 50 harvested carrot ingredients, 50 potato, 50 cabbage, 50 tomato, 50 apple, 50 peach, and 50 banana. Not the oranges. I honestly wonder why. I know that oranges are ingredients for booze that prisoners will use themselves and produce themselves. Maybe that has something to do with it, but I don't know. But if you've completed this grant, you're gonna have to wait 120 hours before you can start doing this grant again, and you can do it indefinitely. But all of this is money right here. And the fertilizer will just make it that the stuff will produce more seeds. And I believe also help with how fast things grow. I'm gonna do it once, and only once. Sell object. All of this. All of this. All of this. All of this. And that. Okay, so that's only 2 more that I can do. Of course, I'm doing this so that I can hurry it up with this, with the auto harvesters. 1, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more. This is a slow and tedious process, but eventually this is gonna make it better for me. I'm gonna sell the objects again. Sell objects, thank you. All of that and all of that. Cabbages will take the slowest to grow, but they do exist. Carrots do exist again. Three more. I'm still very disappointed that they made it so that you cannot rotate the topiaries. I mean, come on. How long have we been playing this game? They should have been done right off the get-go. 1 more. And then 2 more. And I'm done. Then I can end this episode. You can also do the high quality fertilizer. It costs 2.5 times more, but it yields some more seeds. So there is a benefit to that as well. And the more seeds a given product yields, the less you have to buy them from outside, of course. Come on with the money, please. So I guess that next time I'm gonna be starting construction and probably finishing protective custody, which then will follow an episode where I'm basically gonna manage the prison and wait until I have 20,000 more and buy this plot of land, which will be the final plot of land that I'll buy for death row and criminally insane. And once I have those two, I will consider this playthrough complete. And I'm very, very proud of myself. There you go. Done. Get it done. Get it all done. Get it all done. Everything. So you see my workmen are cutting down the logs, or cutting down the trees, dismantling them, and they will gather the logs into stacks and then eventually bring them over to the workshop. What is this? Store ingredients in the fridge. Why would you do that? Anyway, with this I'm going to be ending off this episode right here. And it seems that we are already in the process of not replanting stuff. If that is the case, that would suck. But luckily I do... Oh wait, we might still plant them. This was tomato. And then this was potato. Let's see, 1, 2... Here. Right. Oop. With that, I'm gonna end this. I hope that you've enjoyed this. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. It helps out a great deal. I am Paul with many voices. I thank you all for watching, and I will see you all next time. Goodbye.